One area that I commonly see people are pretty tight and restricted is what's called shoulder internal rotation. So this is especially true if you're sitting at the desk throughout the day, maybe you played baseball, softball, lacrosse, some kind of overhead sport, and just because of the demands of that sport and the more unilateral nature where you're throwing, catching, and with opposite sides rather than doing that interchangeably, you develop this kind of specific pattern of tightness. So shoulder internal rotation, a very simple test that I like to run people through, is from this position, lifting, again, trying to get that hand up their back as high as I can. So this is my right side here, trying to get my thumb, walk my thumb up my spine, and then what does that other side look like? So you may have noticed a difference from side to side. Typically, I find people are a little bit more restricted on their dominant side, but one simple exercise or stretch to work on improving shoulder internal rotation is called the posterior capsule stretch. So to perform the posterior capsule stretch, we would just go in a doorway somewhere or hold on to some kind of rail where we can just secure the hand onto that and sit comfortably. With this stretch, we want to some degree that arm to be across the body as we perform it. So as you look at me here, I know it's not the best angle to see that and it'd probably be hard to see just from what I have set up here at the facility, but we want the arm to be across the body to some degree because we're trying to lengthen some of these shoulder external rotators to the back shoulder. So looking at teres major, teres minor, infraspinatus, those muscles that are going to rotate externally because we want to actually improve length and flexibility of that posterior capsule and musculature at the rotator cuff there to help get us into a better degree of internal rotation. So to perform this stretch, and I'll show you right here, if I'm holding on, I'm actually going to cross my hand over so my palm is facing the side I'm stretching. I'm not holding straight on, palm facing towards the body. It's actually the opposite way. And as I do that, I'm just going to sit back in just a mini squat here because I want to use body weight as I sit back. My arms across my body, like I mentioned a second ago. I'm going to sit back and allow that shoulder, again, trying to almost create a little bit of space, a little bit of traction there at the shoulder to separate and elongate these muscles. Because as I sit back in that position, immediately all through the back side of the shoulder, down next to the shoulder blade, maybe a little bit between that right shoulder blade as well, I'm feeling a little bit of stretching going on there. I'm just trying to breathe. Relax. Every time I exhale, I should feel myself just releasing a little bit more and improving length through those muscles. So same thing, and if I was in a doorway, coming across there, if I'm facing straight on, rotating that hand around so my thumb is pointing to the ground and my palm is facing the shoulder, I'm actually stretching. I'm relaxing my shoulder down, and then from there, I'm sitting back, using body weight, holding strong onto that doorway. So you need to find whatever position works for you. I mean, obviously, if I want a little bit more here, I can hold that side. Some people are fine just sitting in that position, but relaxing the shoulder, breathing, and then just sitting back and allowing that arm, body's going to shift backwards, arm's going to be pulled towards the anchor point, and I'm going to feel right around the back side of that shoulder, lateral scapula area, and then also between the shoulder blade to some degree. So that's just a little tip on how to improve the effectiveness of this shoulder posterior capsule stretch. If you're someone that's tight into internal rotation or have an asymmetry, a difference in flexibility, mobility from one side to the other side, we definitely want to work on balancing those out. So please reach out with any questions, and I hope you found value in this video today.